The following program is recorded content created by the Truth Network.
It's Matt Slick Live. Matt is the founder and president of the Christian Apologetics Research Ministry, found online at CARM.org. When you have questions about Bible doctrines, turn to Matt Slick Live for answers. Taking your calls and responding to your questions at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
Okay, everybody, I guess we're on. Wow, I had a little bit of an issue there and got out of time, out of stuff. So, hey, I'm back. This is Matt Slick Live. Listen to Matt Slick. And today is March 6, 2023. So, I just want to say, I went to Israel, and I'll talk about that a little bit. We got 4 open lines if you want to give me a call. 877-207-2276. I want to hear from you. Give me a call. And I want to say thanks, let's see. No, for the producer, no, I got mixed up by a full minute on the time, that's all. Nope, it's on my end. So I didn't hear the bump because I didn't have my headset on. So it's just doing stuff. And there we go. So working it. So I was out of the state. I was out of the state, out of the country for, let's see, I was out for 2 weeks, went to Israel, had a good time in Israel, got back yesterday, which I'm still struggling from the jet lag. So had a 13-hour flight from Istanbul to LAX, spent the night almost in the airport, and then got a flight back later in the morning. And I'm going to say thanks to some people here in a little bit, bottom of the hour, who helped out a little bit with getting me a hotel and things like that, reimbursing the stuff. So it's only to just tell you, I went to Israel, and Charlie Spine, he filled in for a couple of weeks. So I want you guys to call me up and tell me how he did. I've heard he did well, but I want to hear from you so you can tell me. And he's a good guy, and he knows a lot of stuff. So, thanks, Charlie, for helping out. Really appreciate that. So, we went to Israel. I saw the places that kind of stick out in my mind this time. We saw the place where Samson, I keep saying Samson, where David and Goliath fought. We went to Hezekiah's tunnel. 1,786 feet we walked. Let's see, we saw the foundation of David's palace. We saw the tomb of David, the tomb of Joseph. We went to where Abraham and Sarah were buried. We went to the West Bank, Palestine, and the Gaza Strip. And we went to within a stone's throw of Syria. And what was interesting there, this is going to sound a little bit odd, but we were all delighted about this. So we went to this one place, Syria. You could just almost throw a rock at it. It wasn't quite that close, but, maybe a couple, 3-4 stone throws away kind of a thing, Syria. And there was this guy who had like a little Toyota truck, and he was gruff and didn't speak English, but he could say, 1 for $1. And he had oranges. And so we got some oranges. I'm going to tell you, I have never in my life tasted an orange. So it was so good. Everybody on the bus who had it was incredible. Every single orange I've ever had in my life, none of them was as good as the ones we ate right there. They were fantastic. They really were. So that was believe it or not, that was an odd highlight. So we went to Masada and went to the Dead Sea. Let's see, Galilee, went on a boat out there in Galilee. We saw the Wailing Wall, went to that, up close to it, down below, underneath. So many things. We went to the place where Jacob's ladder occurred, where Jacob had the dream of the angels ascending and descending. We went to that place. We went to different restaurants. I had a traditional tilapia fish lunch, and it was just a fish gutted, and that was it. and they baked it, and you had the eyeballs and everything. And so I gave a traditional attempt to enjoy that. And it was good. It was a lot of fun. And let's see. Oh yeah, I lost my hearing aids. Coming back. Oh man, that really, I don't know what happened. Don't know how I lost them, but they're gone. When I went to retrieve them, they weren't stolen. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do about that, because they cost a lot of money. I spent an hour today going through the Turkish airline lost and found thing, putting in requests and all this kind of stuff. Hopefully people found them, but I doubt it. And that reminds me, because people find stuff, and they're, for the most part, they're pretty honest people. And I noticed this, that they had all kinds of shops and all kinds of places, and they had stuff for sale outside of the shop. And I mean outside of the shop. Anybody could just walk by, take something, and keep going. Seriously. And I had to, once I had to not fight my way in to pay, but it was like that. I had to get something. So I got to go in and pay now. And it's like, got to go in and wait in line. And it was fun, and they go, okay, and they'd say, shekels, and they go, how about dollars? And they go, yeah, $2, and we give that and walk out. I got some coffee cups, and beautiful coffee cups. Let's see, what else? We went to the place where in Genesis 17 and 18, where Abraham, where the Lord appeared to Abraham. We went to that place, saw that. We went to Bethel. We went to Ai, where Abraham and Lot were. Man, there's just so much. I went to the Dead Sea Scrolls, the place, the caves. We went to the Jerusalem Museum, and we went to the Holocaust Museum. And they requested that we don't take any pictures in there, so I didn't take any pictures. I'm going to tell you something. Going to the Holocaust Museum in Jerusalem is it's sobering, and it just was. And it's an interesting way that they have the museum designed. It snakes through left, right, and you progress down that way as you do that. And what we saw, and original garments worn by the prisoners, shoes and piles and stuff, and pictures and various things. I listened to a video where a man talked about how when a bunch of people were shot, machine gunned, and he fell down, and bodies were on top of him for hours, and he finally started to move because he was so afraid. And he did, and someone else was already also alive. They were unhurt, and then they had to find out how to get out amongst the bodies and find a place to go to. You watch this stuff and you listen, and you're right there. It was really interesting. We went to on a camel ride, and different hotels. The food was great. The people were great. It was a great experience, and if you ever have a chance to do something like that, if you're able to, take the opportunity. It costs about $5,000, and that's not something I can do very often. But arrangements were made, and was able to go. But the Bible comes alive when you read things that you've been to. You go to Jerusalem, and you have memory of Jerusalem. We went to Lazarus' tomb, where Jesus raised Lazarus. We went there. We went to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and we went to Jericho and stood on the fallen walls and walked through the ruins of Jericho. So it was really great. We didn't go to Bethlehem to the well where Jesus. I've done that before there, where drank out of the very well that Jesus was talking in John 4 to the woman at the well there. And so it was good. It was very interesting. It was entertaining. And one of the blessings that I found was the people. I really enjoyed the people. It was a lot of fun. If Donna's listening, hey Donna, how you doing? I didn't get to really say bye to the people because I'd lost my hearing aids at a critical point. We had to go through customs, and that's when I discovered I didn't have them, and it really panicked me. So I was trying to, find them, but never did. And those things happen. And some other stuff happened too that I lost going before we get there. It's just odd things. And then I'll tell you this story. We had our CARM guy, the CARM guy from Brazil was there. And he lost his wallet. And he lost his wallet. And so a friend of mine, Dave Kimball, and I were sitting there talking in a lobby of this restaurant after dinner. And David Brito, he comes out, he goes, I can't find my wallet. Went on the bus and couldn't find it. It was gone. And he had some credit cards and he had some cash. He wasn't so worried about the cash, even though he said didn't have very much. And so, and we asked, go look at the bus and ask maybe someone turned it in, go to the lobby and things like that. And no, nothing. It was nowhere. He remembered he had it, like an hour and a half earlier at some store, someplace. And so he couldn't, he was really distraught. He's going to have to call up the companies and cancel the credit cards. And so he disappears, and 10 minutes later he comes back and he says, I found it. I said, you did? Where was it? And he sits there and he said, you won't believe this. And he said he got on his knees. He went into the room, the hotel room where he was staying. He got on his knees and asked the Lord to help him find that wallet. And he said that an image flashed into his mind to look in the trash can inside the room where he was staying. And it didn't make any sense. A trash can, why? He lost it away from the hotel. And he looked in the trash can, and the bottom of the trash, underneath everything, was his wallet. And he doesn't know how it got there. So that was strange and interesting. But a lot of good people. Sat next to Anthony and Angie, and there was Patricia, there was Ruth, there was just a lot of good people. I don't remember all the names. I got to do a devotion in the Garden of Gethsemane, and talk about that a little bit after the break. We have 2 open lines. If you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. We'll be right back. Look, I see this guy coming up.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, everybody, well, back on the air. Had a little bit of a crash on a system someplace. That does happen, but we are back. Today is March 6, 2023. All right, if you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. Let's get on the air with... let's see, Rudolph from North Carolina. Rudolph, welcome. You're on the air, buddy.
Yes, sir. I did get a chance to connect with your guy that was there. We had a problem with a technical problem, but he did a good job when you go.
Yes.
So,
yeah, Charlie's a good guy. I've known him for a long time. He's very competent, quite good. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. My question is, should Christians still follow the pagan traditions learned by the Roman Catholic Church.
Wait, I'm not sure I understand. You said, should Christians follow the pagan traditions of the Catholics? Is that what you're asking? Which
That we've learned from the Roman Catholic Church.
Like what? Which ones? Give me a couple.
Two big ones that we've learned from Roman Catholic is Christmas and Easter.
All right. Okay, so Christmas, December 25th, the reason we celebrate Christ's birthday on that day is because it was actually the winter solstice day in Europe, and the pagans would have celebrations on that day. And so that was the day that the winter was finally at midpoint and the days are starting to get longer. So they have a celebration, and the pagans wouldn't give up that holiday celebration. So the Roman Catholic Church put the date of Christ's birth on that for a celebration, trying to change the focus from paganism to Christianity. So I don't have a problem celebrating on December 25th, and it's not relevant to me that the Roman Catholic Church is the group that instituted it, even though Roman Catholicism is false. We've got to be careful of what's called the genetic fallacy, that somebody or something that was bad started something, so therefore that something is bad also. So it's like you have an atheist teacher who taught algebra. Well, that doesn't mean that algebra is invalid because of the teacher's atheism. So it's called a genetic fallacy. We've got to be careful of that. So no, it's okay to celebrate the Christmas of the 25th, the birth of Christ, even though it wasn't on that day. It's okay. We're not celebrating the Roman Catholic paganism. Okay?
Yes, and Easter with Ashtaroth.
Yeah, Ashtar, and became Easter. And so the same kind of a thing is there. So we're not celebrating the Catholic Church when we do these. We're just celebrating those events. But they're not stained by the fallacies and the blasphemies of the Roman Catholic Church, which are many. So we can celebrate those days. It doesn't really matter. You can celebrate any day you want, really. But Easter, Ishtar, but the day of Christ's resurrection did happen around that time of the year. So it's good. It's okay to celebrate it. It's all right. Okay.
Okay. Well. All right. Well, it's good. I'm glad you made it back safe. And take care. I'll be talking to you soon about your favorite topic, flat Earth.
Oh, flat Earth is so stupid. Yes. Okay. It is. I'm sorry, but it is. Christians should not get mixed up with that fallacy. It's very easy to refute. It's extremely easy to refute. And if people want me to tell them, I can tell you how to refute it very easily just by going outside and looking up in the air, and I'll tell you what to look at and how it works. So, okay, buddy? All right.
Yes, sir. God bless, man.
God bless, Rudolph. All right, let's get on the air with Martin from Virginia. Martin, welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Matt. Glad to see you made it good and you had a good time out there.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, we did. We walked a lot, I'll tell you. We walked like 5 miles a day and up and down 20 stories.
Yeah, I would not doubt that at all. Yeah. So, a couple quick questions, both related to your Israel trip. Was there any time that, any place or occasion that kind of brought you to your knees, more reverence, not even maybe to tears, maybe to prayer on that trip that you would recommend to other folks to kind of go see as well?
No, nothing there for me like that. There were probably others on the trip that had profound effects. I don't get affected by things like that as much as a lot of people do. Just the way I'm put together. We went to a place where supposedly, for example, Jesus.
Fair enough.
But as an example, we went to a place where Jesus apparently wept on a rock or prayed on this one particular rock, and people are there wiping the rock, put it on their foreheads, and it's like, why are you doing that? It's not, don't do that. And so I don't need to see the empty tomb. I don't need to see Golgotha. My spirituality, my relationship with God is not dependent on those objects and those locations. But it's great to see. What really does it for me is being in Jerusalem. I just like Jerusalem. You're in Jerusalem, and it's like home. Yeah, so that helps.
Historical and prophetic. It's very prophetic. I mean, it's going to be part of our reality in the end of time.
Amen.
So they had Netanyahu, he made some decisions that caused a lot of turmoil, and there's a lot of protests that were going on. Did you ever feel unsafe?
No.
When you were there?
No, we were rejected at one border crossing because some of the people on the bus didn't have their passports with them, and the tour guide said it had never happened before, where people forget it. You change pants or whatever it is, your purse, you forget. And he says we got rejected, probably because there's a little bit of tension. We had to go around a 40-minute detour and stuff like that. But we got a break, so hold on, man. Okay, we'll be right back, all right? Hey, folks, if you want to keep listening, please do. An open line, 877-207-2276. We'll be right back.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We're at the bottom of the hour. Just want to, before we get back to the caller, I want to just give you a little bit of an update on something that was really good. So, when coming back from Israel, we had a layover about 15 hours in LAX before I could come here back to Idaho. So I was going to go to my brother-in-law's house, but that fell through. He's out of town and some other stuff happened. So I was going to spend the night in the airport because the hotels are too expensive, like $300 to $400, right there that night. And I decided that I could not stay in the airport, because just way too noisy, overhead, this and that, people walking by, and I was gonna, I just couldn't do it. And I was with Stacia, and she was going to stay in the airport with me. She had a similar situation, and I got a sneeze coming on, so we'll see how that goes. And so, long story short, I put the word out on Facebook, hey, we're going to stuck in the airport, blah, 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 and people came together. And let's just say that they raised money for myself, and Stacey's going to get some for the hotel. And so Jimmy, thank you. You sent some stuff. And Randall, I want to thank you, both you guys, for that. We've got information about you guys too. Jimmy's, I don't know how much I want to say, because I don't know how much they want me to say over the air about their personal stuff. We have a lot of stuff there, but Randall's son, TJ, recently got saved. Bill cannot. Thanks a lot, Bill. Really appreciate it. And Bill Chibaris, hey, man, thanks for helping out. Appreciate that. Donna Torres, thanks a lot. Appreciate you. And just want to say thanks to you. I hope we didn't miss anybody. And the one person who helped out doesn't want me to mention them over the air, so I won't mention her over the air, who kind of coordinated some stuff and is in the room. All right, let's get back on the air with Martin. Okay, there you go. Sorry about that, Martin. You're back on.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, that was just the follow-up question about your safety with some of the protests that have been going on there, and how if they curtailed your access or anything.
Yes, it did. We did not go to Jacob's Well because of some of the issues that were going on, and there were a couple of changes that happened. But it was good. It was definitely well worth going. Absolutely.
Good. Yeah, hey, and thumbs up to Charlie. You know, I called in one time and probably listened most every day. He did a good job. There's the typical little technical glitchy things, but he professionally still do it. So.
Yeah, he's quite competent. He knows his stuff. He's a good guy. I've known him for a long time. And just thank God for his friendship and Dave Kimball. These guys are great. I've known them for over 40 years each. Good men. So, praise God, man.
God bless, Matt. You have a good night.
You too, man. Thanks a lot. All right. Now let's get on the air with, let's see, Noel. Hey, Noel, welcome. You're on the air. Hello. Are you there? Did I lose you? Let's see. Give another few seconds. Maybe there's a problem. You can call back. Okay. So call back if you can. Let's get to Luke from Arizona. Luke, welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Matt. How's it going?
Hey, I thought it was you, buddy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Good to hear your voice. Good to have you back.
Hey, nice to hear your voice too. You know, how you doing down there in Arizona?
Things are going great down here. God's been good, and tell Charlie he did a fantastic job while you were gone. Way better than that other guy you used to have fill in for you.
The other guy was lame, but you know, when you're desperate, what are you going to do? You know. But actually, I thought about, you know, if I'm out again, I may have to go to Japan in 4 weeks. I don't know if that's going to happen. But maybe if you're able to, you can get on the air too, and we'll have Charlie on, or we'll have some others. But we'll see. But
we'd love to.
Yeah. So good, man. You tell the family I said hi and everything, and the people there at your new ministry you're at. So you know.
We'll do.
All right.
Yep. Now that said, I did legitimately have a question. Just curious your thoughts about. You know, you're
Sure.
talking about all the different sites that you went to over there in Israel, and obviously some of them we know exactly, very firmly where the location is. When you talk about going places like, well, this is where God appeared to Abraham in Genesis, and to what degree of certainty do you have that really is that site? Where do we get that information?
Well, Joel, was he there when you went? Did you get to hang with Joel?
I did not get the pleasure to meet Joel. I did not.
Okay. So Joel's an archaeologist, and he led us through, and he was talking about that location. Now, the problem is that there's a city around there, and it's a Muslim area, so you really can't do much excavation. And I couldn't listen to Joel as much as I wanted to. We were right there. He says, this is the area where this happened, in this area. How big's the area? Well, I couldn't tell you. Football field kind of size. And so we were distracted, at least Dave Kimball and I were distracted because Joel said that sometimes it's happened before where the kids in the area will throw rocks at the tour people. That doesn't happen very often, but it's happened. He's a little bit concerned. Keep your eye on him. So what Dave and I did was we separated from the group. He went one way and I went another way towards those kids that were watching, and we made friends with them. Took pictures with them, got to know them as far as their names go, and they practiced English with us. So I was distracted basically because of that. So I didn't get all the information, for example, about that exact place. But we do have, in Israel, there are, Joel was telling us that there are some places that, this is the place. For example, the room where Jesus was when they tore the roof out and let Peter, the man down, the paralytic, into the house. That was an actual place. The tomb of Golgotha, they think it probably is right there, where, or at least the hill where Jesus was crucified. That looks like that right there. The Garden of Gethsemane we went to, and the Mount of Olives. So, you know, some things are really exact and some things are not. Like we went to and saw, we didn't walk down in it, but we saw the valley where David and Goliath did their battle. So where exactly was it? quarter mile left and right direction kind of thing, but that kind of stuff. But Joel knows the exact stuff, like Jericho. I mean, Jericho. We're on the walls of Jericho. There it is. It was exact. So some things were exact and some weren't. So you there?
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you went and you saw some of the things, same kind of stuff. I know. Some were exact.
Yeah,
and
well,
some weren't.
I went in 2020. Everything was closed while I was there.
Oh, that's true. Those problems. Yeah.
No, it was a great trip, and I'll be forever grateful for it. But you got to see so many amazing things that a lot of us haven't, and appreciate you being able to share those connections to the scriptures and everything. Thank you, Matt. And
it was great, and I hope you get to go again too. So, but God bless. We got to keep in touch, Luke. Yeah. We got to keep in touch,
absolutely.
man.
All right.
Yeah. All right, man. God bless.
Have a good one, brother.
Okay. So that's Luke, and he had to leave our ministry and go to another ministry, which is fine. He had to move up. Let's just say move up and over. And so he's down there in Arizona now doing tours and stuff like that to the Grand Canyon and stuff like that. I want to go down there and go through one of his tours once. I told him if I do that, I'll be in the back of the crowd looking at him with my eyeballs all squinched out and slapping my forehead and shaking my head to distract him. He goes, that'd be fine. But all in good fun. All right, almost ready for the next break, but give me a call, 877-207-2276. Devin from Idaho. Welcome, Devin. You're on the air.
Hey, man. How are you doing?
Doing all right, man. It's getting back from suffering from jet lag, but hanging in there. What do you got, buddy?
So I know that you have a break coming up, and we can talk about this afterwards, unless there's time. But I've never heard you talk about this topic. But what do you think of Christian yoga, quote unquote?
Christian yoga is okay as long as you're not doing chakra energy balancing, light energy work, things like that. Stretching is simply stretching. In martial arts, we would do stretches, and some of the stretches were the same things we would do in yoga. When I took yoga when I was a kid, ignorant, I just took a lot of yoga, did yoga, real yoga. But some of the stretching moves are identical, and it doesn't really make any difference. So if they have Christian stretching, they want to call it yoga, they really shouldn't do that. But it's not that big a deal. Then it's fine, as long as they're not doing things like focusing on energy. They certainly should not do things like focus on this verse and let your mind go free. If they do that, that would be bad. But hold on, we'll be right back, okay, buddy? We got a break coming up. Hey, there's the music. If you want to give me a call, all you got to do is dial 877-207-2276. You can also email me a question at info@carm.org. Hey, we'll be right back.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, welcome back to the show. We have a few open lines if you want to give me a call, 877-207-2277. A call. You can email me at info@carm.org, CARM.org. Let's get back on with Devin. All right, about Christian yoga. Ready to talk about it a little bit more?
Yeah.
All right, so yoga is problematic whenever it deals with the issues of energy balancing, chakra balancing, emptying your mind, and things like this. These are occult practices. That's what yoga is officially. So can Christians do yoga? No, Christians cannot do yoga. Not when it involves the issue of meditation, chakra balancing, emptying the mind. You can do Christian yoga type stuff. I hate using the word yoga because yoga means the actual practice, not only of stretching, but the meditations on those movements, as well as emptying the mind, moving energy, thinking, things like that. And that's what yoga is. So when they say Christian yoga, it's kind of a misnomer, because it's what they're trying to do is Christian meditation without the Eastern occult meditative aspects. But they're still using the same word, but the word actually entails the idea of those things. This is why it's confusing. So, as I said before the break, when we come to the issue of stretching, there's nothing wrong with doing stretching, like the lotus, the bound lotus, things like that. Those aren't occultic things to do. There's actually a position where you sit in a chair and you sit with straight back, and your back straight, and you relax all your muscles. You do breathing exercises. Those things aren't occultic, but they are when you focus on something, and this, I keep repeating this, the emptying of the mind and waiting for your energy to move in your body. That's occultic and bad news. So can a Christian do stretching in a class situation, and then you have, say, Christian music on, or you have a scripture that's read, and you do a stretch in a different position? I don't see any problem with that, because the positions, the stretches themselves are not bad. They're just positions. It's the association with the occult practices done with them is a problem. And as long as those are removed and the stretching is incorporated, then that's fine. As far as meditation goes, the Christians should never just empty their minds. That should not be something that they should do at all. It should be focusing on Scripture, maybe having a discussion on a verse while they're stretching and things like that. So it just depends on a few variables. You want to add anything to that?
Oh yeah, I was just curious, because like I never really thought of anything of yoga or whatever, and then I think I heard you saying something a while back about that, and then I completely forgot about it. But then it's like kind of got me thinking, about like how, kind of like with what Paul said about eating meat sacrificed to idols and stuff, and how it's just meat, and that you can partake in it because it's the Lord allowed everybody to eat meat, and and so and just got me kind of thinking about how we also Christians usually decorate trees during Christmas, and that has roots in paganism and stuff too. So it's just like I got lower back issues, so I was like, maybe I should try some stretches out, and then that got me on a yoga path, and I was like, well, let me talk to Matt first, see what he thinks.
Yeah, you can do stretches for your lower back. Like I said, I took martial arts for years, and we would sit there and do stretches and do rolls in different directions, different sizes, different angles, and I didn't have any problem with any of that stuff. In fact, I talked to the sensei that I ended up taking Krav Maga for several years with. He would teach another martial art which was steeped in the traditions of Japan, and there were some meditative practices done with those. And I talked to him and said, "Oh, my daughter doing that?" He says, "They don't do that. They don't do any of that occult stuff." So no big deal. So do those stretches for your back. The swan, these names of positions and things like that. You can do stuff that's helpful. Just don't hurt yourself. You can. I hurt my right knee stretching once from martial arts and twisted it. To this day, it still hurts if I do certain things a certain way. So, just be careful and just don't push yourself. Let your body guide you. But it'll be fine. As long as you're not doing the meditation, stuff like that, don't do that. All right?
Right. Okay, well, thank you.
Okay, man. Well, God bless.
All right. You too.
Okay. All right, we have nobody waiting online. Let's see if anybody's put in. Oh, okay. Yeah. So just one of what we do online here. I'm sorry to hear that. One of the things we do online during the radio show is we have people in the chat room, and I broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Rumble, simultaneously. And we're doing it right now, and plus the show goes out over the air. So what's happened over the years is that we've developed a community of people in the chat. And they're good people, all right? And sometimes people will donate, like Mr. Kit on Rumble did a $5 rant. I appreciate that, Mr. Kit. And so there's that. People have become friends and exchange phone numbers. And Noelle lost her baby during this time. And yeah, I'm just sorry to hear that. My heart aches with you, Noelle. You know, she's one of the girls in the group, and her situation there is known to us, and just want to, you know, let you know that our hearts are with you and prayers are with you and things like that. And you know, just talking about this publicly, we go through things, we go through difficulties, and you know, Noelle, I don't know the details. I just now found this out because someone wrote it to me. And I've lost a son. My wife and I, we had to bury our son. He died right after birth in our arms. And these things, unfortunately, they do happen in the world, and many people suffer through them. And Noelle, my heart goes out to you, as well as do the other people in the room when it happened. I don't know what day or what, but my heart breaks for you and with you. And it reminds me, as we go through things in this world, so many people have so many difficulties. I mentioned my wife before. She's got a very rare connective tissue disorder, and let's just say it's difficult. There are people that are born with birth defects that never get healed. As a matter of fact, you know, I was talking to the Lord about this kind of stuff just today and last night in prayer about why he doesn't heal more. And it's really bothering me. It is. Because I know he's there. And I know he can do so much. And yet he chooses not to heal people. And sometimes he does. And I'm not complaining. But it's something I'm thinking about, and something I'm wrestling with a little bit. I don't have all the answers. Lord, why is it that you don't heal more? Or in the areas that people I know and stuff and see, and yet we have to go through things. And I'm not complaining. I'm not doubting God, nothing like that. But it's just something I don't have answers to. And so I like to think about things like that. And over time, I learn as there's a reason here, there's that. He's the Lord, we are not. And for those of you who are out there, who are suffering through things, my heart breaks with you. And I don't know why God doesn't heal people more frequently. I just don't know. It doesn't mean he's not there. And it doesn't mean he doesn't care. But there are reasons that exist that we don't have a knowledge of, why God allows us to go through things. I can't help but wonder that it might be for greater reward in heaven as we suffer through periods of difficulties now without our faith wavering, and we look to him. And perhaps this is a greater blessing to not be healed so that we have greater reward in heaven. That's the predominant reason I've come up with why God doesn't heal people like we think we would like him to do. But that's okay. There is a God, you're not him, and our faith is not dependent on our healing or not. And your faith should not be dependent on your healing. It's dependent on who Christ is and his death and resurrection, that you can trust in what he has done and who he is. And if you're doubting the Lord because of your situation, financial or marital, familial, that means family, health, maybe you're frustrated and maybe a little angry with God. I don't know what to tell you, other than I would think that your eyes are in the wrong place, that you're looking to your situation more than to Him. This is what I'm getting, at least when I think about it, that I get this, well, what are you looking at? Where's your hope? What's your expectation? And so I just don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, I was actually thinking, Bill, in the chat room there about Justin Peter. I know Justin Peters. And he's confined to a wheelchair. But yet he travels the country, travels the world. And he ministers to people all over. He has cerebral palsy. And then there's Ed Romaine, who I tease a lot. He's also got CP, and he purposely got a doctorate degree to make me look bad. That's the only reason he did it, was to get a doctorate degree to rub it in. And so I like teasing him. He's a good guy. So why does God let this happen? He has reasons we just don't understand. And yet we can be used in our frailty, and we can bring glory to God, and we can help others too, if we minister by faith. All right, let's get to Charlie from Washington. Charlie, welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Matt. Thanks for letting me fill in for you while you were gone.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that topic, because as Christians, I don't know how people go through such tragic events without the Lord. I mean, the Word says that we mourn, but not as those who mourn with no hope.
Right.
I mean, even in the midst of our bitter mourning, there's a thread of hope that unbelievers don't have, and I feel sorry for them in that, because as uncomfortable as it is, the Lord, in some fashion, makes it survivable for us.
Yes.
And I just thank Him for His mercy in that sense, because it's a marvelous indication of how much He loves us.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thank you for letting me check in. I wanted to let you know that I'm glad you're back, and I appreciate even more what you do while you're here, because
It's not as easy. Not as easy as people think, but it's fun. But there's the music. We got to go. So God bless. Hey, thanks for filling in, Charlie. Appreciate it. All right.
Okay.
God bless.
Talk to you later.
All right. That's Charlie. Great guy. Hey, folks. Sorry, we're out of time. May the Lord bless you by His grace. We'll be back on here tomorrow. We'll talk to you then.
Another program powered by the Truth Network.